President Trump is in the United Kingdom for a historic second state visit there. Before departing the White House, the president expanded on several foreign policy items he's addressing. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy is traveling with the president, joins us tonight from London. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. The President and the First Lady have arrived at Winfield House. That is the official residence of the U.S. Ambassador to the U.K. ahead of a couple days of pomp and circumstance that will include a gathering of military families for a military ceremony known as a beating retreat.
It's the first time this has ever happened where somebody was honored twice.
It won't just be pomp and circumstance in the U.K. Policy will be discussed when the President meets with U.K. Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
They want to see if they can refine the trade deal a little bit. They'd like to see if they could get a little bit better deals.
A deal to find an American buyer for TikTok is closer as the president extends by executive order the deadline for its Chinese parent company to make a sale until December 16th.
He would have been willing to let TikTok go dark, that we were not going to give up national security in favor of the deal.
The president says he'll dot the I's and cross the T's himself in a Friday call with China's Xi.
But we have a deal on TikTok.
Social media algorithms and posts cause persistent problems in times of national tragedy, with Attorney General Bondi threatening extreme measures.
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything, and that's across the aisle.
That's protected by the First Amendment, so Bondi later posted, hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. It's a crime. President Trump is hoping to leave domestic problems behind to soak in this warm welcome from the royal family.
Primarily it's to be with Prince Charles and Camilla. They're friends of mine for a long time, long before he was king. And it's an honor to have him as king. And, you know, I think he represents the country so well.
And this week, we expect continued cooperation between President Trump and Prime Minister Starmer. It's part of the long-standing special relationship, and that's even though Starmer is a politician who has described himself as both a progressive and a socialist. Brett?
Peter Doocy, live in London. Peter, thanks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.